Welcome to Quick Course Digest. In this rapid-fire explainer, we are tackling Spanish I. We're going to break down an entire introductory course into the absolute essentials you need to start speaking, and we're going to do it all in just a few minutes. Ready? All right, here's our game plan. First, we're going to lay the foundation, how to actually build sentences. Then we'll get into the practical stuff, like navigating daily life. After that, a really interesting look at university culture, followed by a super quick cultural tour. And to wrap it all up, we'll talk about how your journey begins now. Let's dive in. Okay, first things first, the foundation. Just like you can't build a house without a solid base, you can't really speak a language without understanding the grammar. These are the nuts and bolts for putting your sentences together. So, let's talk about something called stem-changing verbs. Don't let the name scare you. They're basically just really common verbs that have a tiny spelling twist right in the middle. The big thing to remember? This change happens for almost everyone, except for we, nosotros, and you all, vosotros. They play by the normal rules. And you can see the three main patterns right here. Take a look. For poder, that O becomes a U, so you get yo puedo, I can. For querer, the E turns into IE, giving us tú quieres, you want. And then for pedir, the E just flips to an I, like in él pide, he asks for. Honestly, once you spot these patterns, it becomes a total game changer for sounding more natural. All right, next up, we've got three absolute powerhouse verbs. You're going to use these all the time. There's tener, which means to have, but you also use it for your age, like tengo 30 años, and for when you have to do something. Then there's ir, which is to go. It's for movement, of course, but it's also how you talk about the future, like I'm going to eat. And finally, estar. This is one of your to-be verbs, and it's your go-to for talking about where you are or how you're feeling right now. And to wrap up our grammar section, think about the glue and the labels for your sentences. The glue, those are conjunctions, like e for and pero for but. They connect everything. The labels, those are your possessives. Me for my, to for your. They show who owns what. Super simple, right? But they are absolutely crucial for making any sense at all. Okay, so we've got the grammar building blocks. Now, for the fun part. Let's actually put them to work and start describing the world around us, all the stuff you see and do every single day. Let's kick things off with a question you'll use constantly. ¿Qué hora es? What time is it?
And honestly, telling time is way easier than you might think. You just learn a few key phrases. For quarter past, it's y cuarto. For half past, it's y media. And then you just tack on whether it's in the morning, de la mañana, afternoon, de la tarde, or evening, de la noche. See? Pretty simple.
And here's another essential. ¿Dónde está? Where is it? I mean, think about how often you ask this, right? Well, the answers all come down to these little prepositions of place. They're like GPS coordinates for your sentences. Is something cerca de, close to you? Or maybe it's al lado de, next to something else. These are the words that help you find, well, everything. But of course, your world is so much more than just time and location, right? It's about talking about the things that really matter. La familia, your family. Las mascotas, your pets. La comida, the food you eat. And la casa, your home. That's the stuff of real conversation. All right, let's switch gears for a second and do a really fascinating cultural deep dive. Because it turns out the whole university experience can be completely different in the Spanish-speaking world compared to what many of us are used to. And I mean, the differences are huge. Forget the typical campus life with dorms and big sports teams. It's much more common to live at home and commute. And the focus? It is laser sharp on academics from day one. You actually pick your specific career path, your carrera, the moment you enroll. No general ed required. Okay, enough with the rules and theory. Let's go see where this language actually lives. We're about to go on a lightning-fast cultural tour of 4 incredible Central American countries where Spanish isn't just a language, it's the absolute heart of everything. First up, Guatemala. And did you know this is the birthplace of chocolate? But it's also so much more. It has this incredibly deep indigenous heritage. Get this, there are still 21 different Mayan languages spoken there today. And their money is even named after their sacred bird, the quetzal. How cool is that? Next, let's hop over to Honduras. Here, you've got the amazing Mayan ruins of Copan, plus the world's second largest barrier reef. But you've also got the mysterious Lluvia de Peces,
Yeah, that's the rain of fish, a real phenomenon where once a year it seems like fish are literally falling from the sky. No joke.
And now on to Costa Rica, a country that is all about its national motto, Pura Vida, the pure life. And they mean it. This is a nation that hasn't had an army since 1940. Instead, they focused on protecting nature. And get this, they are home to 5% of the entire planet's biodiversity.
And for our last stop, we're in Panama, a literal bridge between two oceans and two continents. Everyone knows about the canal, of course, but it's also home to this incredibly rich culture, like the beautiful and super intricate mola textiles made by the Guna people. Just stunning.
Wow. Okay, so we've covered a ton of ground in just a few minutes, right? We went from the real nitty-gritty of grammar all the way to the vibrant cultures where Spanish is spoken every single day.
So what does all this mean? It means you have the first pieces of the puzzle. You've got a map that connects the rules of the language to the real people in real places that make it so beautiful. Your adventure? Well, it's officially ready to start. So that really just leaves one final question for you. Now that you have these building blocks, you have the words for family, for food, for finding your way around, what are you going to build first? What's that first conversation you're going to have? The choice, as they say, is all yours.